Watch TV, promoting sustainable development.
Your Wednesday evenings are always best spent with me, 𝐘𝐨𝐮𝐭𝐡, here on the Youth Avenue on Watch TV channel. Good evening to you all, and you're welcome to tonight's episode. Tonight we are talking about youth and migration. You know, almost everybody wants to travel, and so people use illegal means of traveling, which I know comes with a whole lot of risk and all that. So tonight, here with me, I have two guests who are going to help us to know all the risks that are involved in illegal migration. I'll introduce them to you very soon. But before then, I'd like to urge you to please subscribe to our YouTube platform if you have not done that yet, for more content. And also follow us on all our social media platforms, that is TikTok, on Instagram, Twitter, and then on Facebook as well, at Watch TV channel. So for my guest tonight, I have here Mr. Samuel 𝐘𝐨𝐿. He is the founder and CEO of Africa Center for Peace, Security and Migration. He was also the former assembly member of Upper New Takrady and Mpoase. Mr. Misa, you are welcome.
Thank you.
I also have here Mr. Kwame Nabedu, Executive Director and Executive Director at Humankindness Foundation. Okay, Mr. Abedu, you are welcome.
Thank you very much.
This is the Youth Avenue, and here we only seek to address issues that hinders our development and our growth as youth. You are warmly welcome, and we are honored to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Yeah. So, Mr. Misa, I hope I can refer to you as that.
Yeah.
Yes, okay. So, I'd like you to tell us a little bit about your foundation, your NGO.
Okay, so...
And about yourself.
Okay, so Africa Center for Peace, Security and Migration. Yeah, Africa Center for Peace, Security and Migration is a community-based NGO that was formed in 2019. And the aim was to help educate the youth and the citizenry on issues that relate to peace and conflict, and also security, and also the dangers of irregular migration, and the advantages of regular migration. So this was the objectives that the NGO was formed on. And so we've been engaging the youth and some of the community members on issues that relate to peace and security, and also factors, the push factors for irregular migration, and the reasons and why people, if they want to migrate, they need to migrate on a regular basis and not irregular. So that's what Africa Center for Peace, Security, for short, APSAM. APSAM stands for, yeah.
APSAM. Okay, how long has it been in existence?
Yes.
And where are you located?
Yeah, so our main office is located in Takrady on the Liberation Road.
Okay.
But yeah, that's where our head office is located. But we also have some office at New Takrady.
Okay.
That we look at some of these issues.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Abedu.
Okay,
Please,
thank you.
a little bit about
Humankindness Foundation.
Humankindness Foundation.
Humankindness Foundation was started around 2006.
Okay.
Personally, after being in voluntary exile, I came back to my neighborhood, New Takrady, and I saw that the community is some volunteerism. So Humankindness Foundation came out of that. And we wanted to keep school grounds safe. That was one big priority, was to keep school grounds safe. There were some schools where people were using the school grounds as dumping grounds. You know what I mean? And that was not right. And in the mornings, we find smoke coming from the border to the classrooms, and we thought that was not right. The other issue was about stowaways. We saw a lot of young people just not going to school. You know, some of them want to just get out of the country. You know, I mean, teenagers who want to just leave the country. And we thought that we have to counsel them. So we started our stowaway program, counseling stowaways. Another issue was keeping the beaches clean, the beaches. So Humankindness has been doing these things in the community.
Okay. So, Mr. Nisa, can you tell us your personal experience of illegal migration?
Okay, so you know, when I was a kid, I myself wanted to migrate at the tender age of, let's say, 9, 10 years, because in my community, when I was growing up, the role models, all they talk about is going to Spain, going to Europe, Italy, and when they come back from Europe or the Western world, the exhibition of affluence that they portray. I mean, you see that somebody who when he was here, I mean, he wasn't making it, but you see that he goes to maybe Spain or Italy or US or whatever and comes back, and you see that there's a transformation, usually positive transformation of that person's life. So it's like a role model, you understand, when you are living in a community like New Takrady, to see that somebody who may not even have formal education be back, and the person is a changed human being. So when I was, like I said, at the tender age of 8 or 10, I and my brother, like kids, we were just dreaming of also going outside. I know the port is just around us, the harbor. So we used to walk to, you know, where the 𝐘𝐨𝐮𝐭𝐡 area is, just for fun. I mean, just, you know, trying to bring that dream into reality, even though we're not going to board the ship. So that's how much that image drives people to want to also go and experience the luxuries or the joys or the transformations of the Western world or Europe or America or whatever you call it. So that has been my experience on irregular migration. By myself, I mean, I've not gone through the desert, but like I said,
you've encountered people.
Yeah, I've encountered people who have been going and coming, and so when I was a kid, I wanted to go. But thank God that I've had some education, and I've served my community, and I know that if I want to go, I need to go the right way. You understand?
Yes.
We are human, and migrating, sometimes you want to explore. You know, white folks do that. They also come to our country. They also want to know who we are. That's why in the pre-independence era, they were coming here. We didn't go there. The white folks came to our, because they were curious about what we also stood for, who we are. And so for as human beings, we also want to know what we don't know. So if you are trying to go to Europe or America, it's not a crime, or it's not something unheard of. It's human nature. Just that the means to go there or the knowledge to go there is what is problematic. And let me also say, the white folks, they make it very difficult for you to go to their country, which is also very bad. Well, if they were to make it easy for people to go, people would just go and come, like going to Accra, and there will be no fuss about it. But because they put measures to make it so difficult to go, that's why people risk their lives going. You get it? But it's human nature. You've not seen America before, so it's normal you want to see there. There's no crime in that.
Yeah, and you have that mindset.
Yeah, but
as soon
I
as
mean,
you get there, you're able to make it, whatever you.
That's why the Americans or they need to let people, give people the chance to go and experience
just
it.
Just as they come to.
Yes, I mean, they should make it so easy.
Yeah.
So that you go to Accra and know that money is not on the floor. You come back to New Takra or where you stay. But if you make going to Accra so difficult, it creates an illusion that it shouldn't be like that. Yeah, but you let me put it. Let me hold on here. Maybe we'll go there.
Yes.
We'll go further into those. But migration is normal.
Yes.
Yeah, it's normal. It's so irregular because the white folks or the Western people, they've made it so difficult. Yeah, that's why people are just risking their lives. They should make it easy for people to be able to experience their country and come back to their own country, like they did when we didn't expect them to come here.
Yes.
And now we want to go to their country and they are making it difficult for us. So it's really bad. It's not balanced.
It's not balanced.
Yeah, it's not balanced. Yeah.
Mr. Kwabnabedu, do you have any experience or have you encountered anybody who was...
As a matter of fact, I have extended family, nephews and nieces who have taken on deadly voyages.
Okay.
A few weeks ago, we had an incident where 4 young men, actually 6 young men, went on a boat hoping to get to Europe. They were not able to leave the Takoradi harbor. They encountered bad water just around the harbor. The canoe they were taking, subsided, and 2 lost their lives. We've been able to recover one of the bodies. The one is yet to be recovered, and it's very, very, very sad. The reason why New Takoradi is notorious for stowaways is because of the proximity of the harbor. You wake up in the morning, you see these ships, and anybody with an inquiry mind will definitely be curious, and that pricks the consciousness of our youth. Another factor is economic conditions. Times are hard. Times are really, really hard. So some of these young men, 17, 18-year-old, would take a chance, go on a ship, and goes to Spain, and within 5 years, gets back, and is able to take their family out of poverty. Yeah. Whereas it could have taken 10 years maybe, So some of them view, excuse me, they view these trips so sacred. There's a passion for the young men. If you go into their minds, you will just feel sympathy for them because they mean well. They want to work. They want to bring their families out of poverty. And they just don't have too many choices. Yeah. And going outside the country is very, very seductive. And unfortunately, some of them fall victims to that. What can we do to stop that? The government or our own communities, we need to appreciate what we have in our country. Yeah. First of all, maybe we need to have a department for national reorientation so that we can start appreciating what we already have. A lot of young people probably will travel, take chances before they realize that after all, it's not much out here. Maybe we can do better at home. I wish we can give this message out before they leave our shores.
Yeah. So, in your experience with these people, like that, what makes you think, aside finding greener pastures and all that, what makes you think they pushes them to actually risk their lives, Mr. Bedu? I'm addressing this to you. So what makes you think cause them to risk their lives so much? I mean, traveling on the desert just to get out of the country. What make you think pushes them to do that?
Okay, but there was one young man I spoke to. He's the only son, the oldest son, with about 4 other siblings. They have 1 room. And this young man decides to leave home to go and stay in what you call ghettos. Okay. He's not somebody who smokes or that, but he felt that he needs to get out of this space and engage people who can inspire him to make a daily voyage. And I was just saddened because this young man had no options. There were a few other cases where these guys were arrested, and our organization took them in, like maybe job training. Instead of the court sentencing them, we thought that maybe job training will help. We started the apprenticeship program. Still, you know, the young men were still persistent that they had to leave. It was not fulfilling enough, you know, because it takes a longer time. It takes a longer time to, at least even to get their own room somewhere, to rent an apartment, you know. And if you look at contemporary life, you see people, they watch television, they see all these glamorous things around the world, young people so happy and just enjoying life, and they are stuck with having to even find something to eat, you know, and that is a problem, you know, and that makes them make some of these deadly voyages. And really, some of them come up really, really successful. I mean, successful that they're able to take their family out of poverty. Within 5 years, they can come back and build and take their sisters and other members of the family into a more, you know, a better surrounding. So that inspires them. That inspires them. If they could do this year within a short time, I think a lot of people would like to stay in Ghana and then, you know, work. But the options are so limited. And that is driving our young people. And some of them are very, very, very intelligent. The mental toughness. I mean, for somebody to use a piece of bamboo and climb on the bamboo into a ship, you know, and look, the shopping they do, you know, they have some water, they have some gari, I mean, items to last them for 2 weeks, you know, and they have great survival instincts and really mental toughness. And these are young people we can use in our navies and so on, you know. I hope we can pay attention to them. That's why we don't lose all of them.
Mr. Nisa, what are we not doing right as a country that is leading to all of these illegal migrations?
Okay, thank you. We are not doing a lot right. And as a Ghanaian, if you follow the news and you try to be sensitive to the economic aspect of, you know that things are not going on well. You know, prices of goods and services are so high. You understand? Now it's very bad. It has been like that for a long time under different governments. Things keep on increasing, and now it's very bad. But poverty has always been there. And like you asked me, what we are not doing right is looking at our population and looking at the allocation of resources. Because if Ghana has a population of 15 million people and it cannot employ, let's say, 50% of the youth, you cannot assume that if Ghana's population gets to 30 million, it can employ 80% of the youth. So the issue of unemployment and poverty will still be lingering and even getting worse. And so at the base of the whole issue is poverty and economic hardship. I mean, if I'm comfortable, if I'm riding a Rolls Royce, if I'm living in a flat, if I have everything I need in life, why would I have to travel? I mean, I can pay my ticket and go to the US, go on vacation, and come back and relax. And come back and relax. But people cannot afford that. People, a household of maybe 10 people are living in one room. If you come to our area, you see that water is not flowing from you deal with water and sanitation. From a country taking secondary takrade as a case study. From January to April, we have water crisis.
Yes.
And so, if in your country, we say God has blessed Ghana, and for 4 months in 12 months, you have water poverty, water stress.
In a week, or even
it doesn't. Sometimes I have
like
been
a month.
I've been disturbing the Ghana Water Company a lot. I don't. The system is so bad.
Yeah.
So even me, I'm working. I can pay my water bill. I never owe them, but they don't pump the water. I need to chase them, call them. Sometimes they don't even pick my call. So how can I be comfortable living in a country where the basic commodity of water, even that one when I'm ready to pay, I don't get? You make the country unattractive to its own citizens. So what is the next option? Is to go and explore better living conditions. You understand? And these are some of the push factors that drives our youth to get out, because they are uncomfortable. Imagine water. Me working who can pay. Yeah. I'm so distressed. Imagine the person who cannot pay and who is not working. That is, he will be experiencing what I'm experiencing times 200 or times 1,000.
Yeah.
So you can imagine how that young man, when he sees a ship in the Takrade Harbor, will be so eager to jump into it. He doesn't care even if he dies. This is how we make Ghana so uncomfortable for the youth. So if you hear somebody going on desert trying to get to Europe, don't be surprised. Yeah. Our politicians and our leaders, they've made such a condition for people to go away. Yeah. And when you go to their various homes, they are not facing that. Maybe they can purchase a 10,000 liter polytank, 50,000 liter polytank. Yes. Or they can have a borehole. So they will tell you, oh, but I'm not experiencing what you're experiencing. Yeah. But the masses, the poor people, those who live below the economic line, they are feeling it. And they get a negative impression of the country, that the country is not a habitable place for them. So that's why they're always going. If you watch DW and you watch all the major news channels who show issues on mine, it's so bad. It's so embarrassing to be an African. And to see your fellow black on black just going to die freely in the Mediterranean. And we sit here, we are praying all the time as if this paradise. No, it's so embarrassing. People are going. People from my community that I used to play with, most of them have gone. Some are still going. Some are, like my senior colleague said, some just recently, not less than, people were going on Stowaway and 2 of them died at New Takrade Port. So it's not something that is far away. It's a serious national issue. Yeah. If you are making the wrong policies for your people, you may be sitting in your luxury, maybe as an MP or a president, and you are not feeling it. But Ghanaians are feeling it. Yeah. You understand? Yes. Ghanaians are feeling it. And you should look at population all the time. Now, the current census, we are 32 million. When we were 24, we had serious issue. Now we are 32. It's climbing. Yeah. And so how are we going to resolve the issue? The water that is not enough. Right? Now the population is growing. So more competition for resources. Are you getting it? Yeah, so we need to we have a lot of work to do. Yeah, as a country. As a country, as citizens. We need to sit down, do some serious brainstorming. Otherwise, it's going to get out of control.
I believe there are solutions there, but the thing is, are they listening to us?
Oh.
Are they listening to us when we bring out our concerns about these issues? Do they hear us at all?
They hear, but the political will to make changes is what is the problem. You know, we are in a democracy, and democracy deals with numbers. And because you go to the people for a mandate every 4 years, you are somehow also bound by the choice of the people or the voice of even if it is wrong. For instance, let me use my community, New Takrade, as an example. you go and you see people building temporary structures or illegal structures. It is not good for the image of the community. But the authorities don't do anything about it. I was an assembly member. I took the planning officer around and told him that, look, these people are trying to survive economically. So as an assembly, why don't we put up stores and relocate the temporary structures so that they go in, so that it's like we are not taking their economic livelihood from them. Look, I've been out of the assembly for over 4 years. Nothing is even getting worse. So somebody is scared that, oh, if I'm going to demolish them, I'm going to lose my vote. And also they've not thought of an alternative means of relocate. I'm not saying demolish somebody's cure so that the person, because the person is already poor. So if you demolish his temple, the person is going to be crazy, poorer. But create a better structure for that. Show that is leadership. That is what we Africans, we are not. We want God to descend from heaven and come and solve the problem. These white people, they are human beings like us. Use your brain to solve your problem. You know that these people need space to do business. So why don't you put up structures in the community? You talk like there are no government created stores like Takrade Market Security. But so you create stores, story building, and relocate the hairdresser who has put a kiosk on the road. Then you also construct the road. If you come to New Takrade, better layout. But people have put stores. You have unconstructed gutters. So you say it's a slum. It's not a slum. New Takrade is a highly designed, planned community which was done by the colonial government. You understand? So if you, the black man, if you say you are capable of managing your own affair, and for 60-something years you are not managing your affair well, and you leave a road to become a squatters destined for temporary structures, and you I've been in the assembly, we are joking. You understand? We are the way we are developing, we are joking. I say it, I'm not afraid. I've been in leadership, I've been in the assembly. I always tell them the truth. If you are joking, you are joking. Because this development is serious business. As time is going, people are giving birth and the problem is compounding. So if today you don't sit down and solve the problem, or you don't make effort to solve the problem, that means you are joking. Yes.
This is the Youth Avenue here, and we are discussing youth and migration. I'd like to remind you to please subscribe to our YouTube page at Watch TV channel and follow us on all our social media platforms as well at Watch TV channel. So we'll continue our discussion. Mr. Kamnawedu, how do you think this issue of illegal migration can be addressed? How do we address the root cause of it?
Okay. Poverty, like the CEO of Africa Center Executive brought out, poverty and lack of options, opportunity for our young people. But there are other areas that we are not looking.
Okay.
Ghana, 16 regions, we have 4 regions that have access to the coast. Now, one area that if we explore can improve our metropolis faster than any politician can come up with, that is fishing. Let's look at some data from Mauritania to Angola, the richest fishing grounds. And I think the year 2000 to 2010, the total revenue from fishing was about $90 billion from Mauritania to Angola. If you look at Ghana, most of our young people are around the coast. We are blessed with very tough-minded young men. And I bet you, if we had fishing boats, fishing trawlers, sailing to the ECOWAS area, Ghanaians are the best fishermen. If you go to Senegal, Mauritania, Gambia, you find Ghanaian fishermen. If we start, providing some boats, fishing boats. We used to have 3 boat yards. On the First Republic, we had 3 boat yards. That was very thoughtful. Very, very thoughtful. Now imagine we are importing $400 million worth of fish every year, and the fish is from our own waters. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Look, if they can release some trawlers, all our young men will be out there bringing the much needed foreign exchange. Fishing. Fishing empowers women also. They go to Skendi Harbor. The women who have to carry the fish, they have to scratch from the beach to the dining table. We are missing out big time. Big time. And I hope coming elections, we want some politicians from the coast to talk about fishing.
Okay.
Instead of the mining, let's go and fish. And that would just improve the living standards of the market women, all the young men, the truck drivers, you name. Enough money coming to the area, give us better purchasing power, all the shops will be happy. It's very important we look at fishing. That's salvation for the coastal youth.
Okay. Mr. Nisa, so is there a particular region or town that has been affected heavily by youth migration?
When it comes to youth migration, I don't have the specific statistics,
Okay.
but it cuts across most of the southern belt.
Okay.
Last time I listened on the news, youth from the Bronga-Hafo region, they used to migrate a lot. They are farming communities, but they've been going, and people in my area, the south, New Takrade, Amanfo, these are so you see, it's about opportunities, you understand, and that taking advantage of those opportunities and making the best out of it. You get it? So, as coming back to your question, I don't have the statistics, but we have a layman's view of how it's going. We see it in the news, and it cuts across almost all the regions. You understand? Unless we really conduct a survey, I think maybe the University of Cape Coast will have, or maybe if you go online,
Okay.
get a statistic. But I don't have it offhand.
Okay.
But it cuts across.
Okay.
It cuts across. Yeah.
Mr. Bedu, anything to add up?
I mean, matter of fact, this issue about fishing is so dear to my heart. And in these times, especially these times, if maybe the politicians, we have some politicians we don't have enough politicians in the fishing industry.
Okay.
The last time I checked, there was one, the Sekendi MP was a fisherman. And his story even amazes me. I mean, I'm not speaking from the political aspect. I'm looking at the possibilities that exist. Look at the mighty ocean, from Mauritania to Angola. You have people coming from Cuba to fish in these waters. And the revenue we are missing. I don't know, maybe only 4 regions have access to the water, that's why. But even then, we have to explore that big time. And I hope some of them are listening somewhere. But coming these elections, we are going to talk about fishing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Nisa, I believe you've encountered people who migrated illegally and might have returned. So is there a story you could share with us, and then what they went through when they were going, the risks that they took, and then how they were able to go through it all?
Yeah, I mean, in my area, we've had a lot of encounter. We always are with some of the youth who have gone and come back.
Okay.
I know one guy, he even stays, he's a next door neighbor. I think he went through the desert, and he came back as a returned migrant. Even I think SMV was working with him,
Okay.
like return. So they were engaging him, trying to give him a skill and all that. So he went through some of the SMV programs and stuff. Others go through the stowaway. You know, the stowaway one is a very risky one. Because there is when you're on the ocean, so your faith when you are caught is between you and the captain.
Yeah.
Sometimes we've had experience where they are thrown overboard, like 𝐘𝐨𝐮𝐭𝐡, the Deadly Voyage, the one that inspired the movie Deadly Voyage.
Okay.
Yes, it's a true story. He was from Sekendi. He went on stowaway. He boarded the ship illegally, and when they caught him there, ship crew, they decided to throw him overboard to the sharks. So going on the ship is so risky. On the desert is also risky, but there you may be lucky and there will be this rescue team on the Mediterranean. If you are not lucky, you can also drown and die.
Yeah.
So the risk is high both way. But on the ship, if the captain is a wicked captain, you are gone. People may not even find out that you are there in the first.
Yeah.
They may discard you and the sharks will eat you up. So we talk to them. It's dangerous. But like we said, the options are less. These are young people. Most of them don't have a lot of formal education.
Yeah.
Some of them even have skills, but they don't earn enough. And they have children, they have wives, you know. They are trying to be comfortable in Ghana, but Ghana is not making itself comfortable to them. And so it's sad. Last time we had an interview, the guy was weeping. He said it was a grown-up, but he was weeping. It's so sad because something pushes them. And as a country, we are not looking at what is pushing our youth. Why would you want to go to somebody else's country unless you are not comfortable
where you are?
You understand? And like I said earlier, we are humans. So we see on TV, America, Europe, how nice their streets are paved, how nice I know it's not perfect the way it is,
yes,
but this is what is portrayed to us. And as human as we are, like I said, you want to go and explore, but maybe you are not rich like the minister or the president who can pay his ticket, so he also wants to go and explore. For you know, you go there and realize that it's not that juicy. But the experience we have is that when they come back, they look better than they used to be whilst they were here. So that is a layman statistics for you. You see this guy who has not been to the university, he has not been to Poly, you know, he didn't even complete 𝐻𝐸𝐻𝑆. Then he takes the risk, goes to America or Europe. He comes and is riding in a X5. You understand? His physique has even changed. He's been able to rent a place for his parents. He's both in a luxurious area like Airport Ridge or Banchase or Anaji. Yes, most of the new Takrady people, they have houses in Banchase, Anaji, Tadisco down. And most of them went through stowaway and all that. So the success story is there, as compared to the guy who loves Ghana and wants to be in Ghana and serve Ghana, and you understand, and he's still poor. He may even have a degree and he's still poor. He loves Ghana, he doesn't want to travel, he's a civil servant or whatever, and 10 years, 20 years, he's still poor. And this illiterate goes to Spain or Italy, America, comes back, and he's better than the educated person. So, I mean, there's a clear, I mean, if you go to the country, you see it. If you go to those areas, you see it. So, as for this migration thing, we need to rather educate the youth and make it easy for them to go and experience what is there. We shouldn't make it so difficult, because it's human nature. Like I'm saying, because it's so easy for me to go to Accra. If I go to Accra and I know that the money is not on the floor, I'll come back to Takrady and do what I'm doing. But sometimes if you make Accra look so like a golden place and it's so difficult to go there, you know, you find other means to go there. And that's the problem I have with these Europeans and Americans. They shouldn't make their country so difficult for people to come and experience their country. You understand? They came to our country when we did not ask them. In their 14 something, they came to our country. We didn't want them here. They came. We didn't make it so difficult for them to interact with. So why is that? Look at what happens on the Mexico border. It's so embarrassing. Look at what's happening in the Mediterranean. It's so embarrassing. These are human beings like you. And they want to come and have a feel of your country. What is the big deal about that?
Probably also thinking about their population and all of that.
No, but I'm saying, if the world is a global village, if we are all human beings, if you are all created in the image of God, why do you make it so difficult for somebody to just come to your country? He's not coming to steal your country. Because I'm speaking from the human nature aspect of it. We are human beings. Look at Syrians. Look at people from Afghanistan. It's a big issue. You understand? Not only Africans or Ghanaians. A lot of people are migrating. When there's war, when there's poverty, it's a natural thing for people to move to safer grounds. You get me? So if you watch on the Mediterranean, you don't see only black people. You see Arabs, you see even other Europeans, all trying to get to better grounds. So if you're able to resolve this issue as human beings, make it easy, make it comfortable for people to experience each other, improve the conditions in the other. I mean, we can, because otherwise this issue will not go away. You understand? Yeah.
Let me come in.
Okay.
Another area sometimes we take for granted is racism. Racism. Most of us, most we Africans are colorblind. Majority of us are colorblind, but the world is not a colorblind place. If you look around, anybody who looks like us is discriminated against around the world. Anyone who looks like us, regardless of their economic background. Look at America. You find stars being stopped, millionaires, because they are black. Because they look like us. And that is something we have to start changing. I mean, 400 years ago, when the white people came, all the chiefs were selling out. Oh, excuse me, I don't mean it in a very, I'm looking back. Look at the slave castles. We have about 48 slave castles. And Nigeria has only one. Get into Benin. I mean, is that coincidence? Or we were so welcoming, or we're just a bunch of sellouts that we were selling our kind. Every other chief was selling somebody's. Or I don't mean that, but this is what happened to us. To where we started having tribal marks to identify ourselves. That if you see somebody being snatched up, you see the tribal mark, you can go and tell the extended family. Not too long ago, it happened to us. And I think we have to learn from that. Most black people who are now resourceful, after they went through the door of no return, one area they want to come back. I mean, they want to come back to Ghana and enjoy what they missed. I believe that if we have policies to welcome them, these are people who can come and consume our local material. They're not coming here to dress like Europeans. These are people who will come and appreciate our clothing, our, how we live. Every year, if 5,000 of them come and build here, that's creating jobs. And this is where it all started for them.
Yeah.
African Americans have purchasing power. I mean, 100 times what we have here. And it's important that we bring people who look like us back to this continent and share our experience. There's so much we have. Our young musicians, look, we are blessed with a very young population. East Africa is the youngest population. And it's good to hear that. I believe in us. I believe in us. I think if we pay attention to our young people, All these other rappers will learn from us. We have so much to, 2,000 tribes on the continent.
Yeah.
We have so much to share. Our diversity is important. And Ghana, we are in the center of the world. Look where we are. Cape 3 Points, the Greenwich Meridian. I think that is itself is even significant. You know?
Yeah.
Having to live in this part of the earth. I think we have to start re-examining what we already have so that we can liberate our young people from other outside mindsets.
Okay, Mr. Bedu, to move away a little bit away from the government, what the government is not doing for us and then all of that, don't you think is the mindset of the youth or is the mindset of people that when we stay in Ghana, we can succeed? Because, I mean, there are other people here who were born and bred here. They were not born into riches, but they still lived here in our country and have still made it.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. That's the message we need to send across. I know so many other people who have stayed here and done so well. I mean, they go on vacations with cash money from here just to go and have time and come back. The possibilities are here.
Yeah.
Look at all these other people, Lebanese and Syrians and other. I mean, even Nigerians, they find Ghana as a sanctuary. I mean, they feel that the peace we have here is so unique. And we are so tolerant of each other. I mean, we have something to share with the world. Look, America, despite their glory, look how children are not even safe in schools. There are 47,000 suicides. I mean, look, we have a lot in our country and we should be proud of it.
So if we change our mindset, will that also help us?
Yes, the mindset. Our people are bombarded. When growing up back in those days, years ago, when I was growing up, there was only one channel, JVC. Okay. And, you know, all of us were watching the same channel. But look at now, so the young people today are being bombarded with so much. Yeah. With so much. I think we need a ministry of national orientation. The churches are not doing enough. The churches are softening our young people up, unfortunately. I hate to say that, but I'm saying we need to get our young people ready to compete with the Chinese, with the Americans, with the South Koreans. We need to get them charged up. Yeah. The churches are not doing it. They are softening them up.
Okay.
We are not solving, let me be clear with you, we are not solving our issues as Ghanaians the way we are supposed to solve them. I'm telling you, take a walk through our society. This is 65 years after independence. With all due, we are joking. Yeah. So, I mean, definitely, people will take advantage of some of the opportunities and they will do well. But how many are the opportunities? You understand? How many? The systems must work. The society must be cushioning enough. You understand? People always use it as an excuse that, the youth are not taking advantage of the opportunities. Well, where are the opportunities? Let's ask ourselves. What opportunities are there that the youth are not taking advantage of? Let's be so clear to the fact. What opportunities are there that the youth are not taking advantage of? If I'm living in a mining like Takwa, what opportunities are there for me? Apart from farming and mining, what other opportunities are there for me? It's mining, and the mining, we do it in the wrong way. Yeah. You understand? So sometimes we deceive ourselves, say the opportunities are there and the youth are not taking advantage. Let's solve the issue where the basics, where your water is not flowing for your citizen 4 months in 12 months. And that is secondary takradio. Yeah. You are not talking of the northern region where even they have a drier landscape. This is secondary takradio that because of climate change, it's been raining even in January. It's been raining in December. It's been raining in March. When I was a kid, about 20 years ago, never will it rain in December. or January
Yeah.
or February. It's the Hamatan. And now we don't experience the Hamatan. It's been raining throughout the year. Yet, even in June, they ration water. In July, they ration water. They ration water throughout the year. What is wrong with us? I said, there's a problem. Then somebody is not doing his work well, or somebody is taking advantage of the system.
Yeah.
That's what we have to do. Systems are not working. Systems are not working. You understand? You don't always come and lie, they become rich, and they go away. And the problem is still there.
Then it's when they say it, we believe them.
No, Master, it's not about believing
But
them.
we are important.
The person has orchestrated himself to lie to you and enrich himself and go away. And it's a teamwork. They are not looking at the problem and tackling it from the roots, and making sure that the other generation will come and continue the plan. And so that in about 30 years, the problem will be resolved. From the way we are doing it, the more the years are going, the worse the problems are becoming. I've been an assemblyman. I've been in the system. And we are not solving the problem the way we are to solve it. I mean, if I'm comfortable in Ghana, why would I want to leave this country?
Yeah.
Understand? I'm telling you, I can pay my water bill, but the water is not flowing. So how do you expect me to be comfortable in this country? I'm not unemployed like the youth who wants to. I'm employed. I take salary. I pay my water bill. Sometimes even the water company owe me. But they will not pump the water for me to be comfortable. I will be calling them, and sometimes like they are even doing me a favor. Look at electricity too.
Yeah.
So Master, let's solve the structural issues of the economy that will make opportunities available. Then we will look at, okay, so you in Ghana, water flows throughout the year. Water is flowing in the town. The roads are paved. There are no illegal structures. I mean, and people are. Then you can assess and say that my BBM, but you are being lazy or you are not taking it. But it is not so.
Okay.
It is not so in Ghana.
But with the water situation,
It is not so.
the reason why 𝐘𝐸𝐿 we are not getting enough good water is because of the galamsey. And our young people should not be tolerant of outsiders. I mean, I don't think the way outsiders can come to our territory, our areas, and we welcome them. It's not so with others. I mean, we welcome people in our communities just to get over. You know, I mean, the mindset has to change. Our young people should not allow outsiders to come and violate us. I mean, instead of turning all the animosity against the political parties, the NDC, NPP, look, let's look at the outsiders who are coming in to represent, as somebody is exporting $40 million worth of gold a month. I don't know whether it's true. I mean, somebody's watching somewhere.
Yeah.
Somebody's watching this happen. I mean, that's the mindset, the national orientation I'm talking about. You know, the self-love that is so missing. I hope we can look at that.
Okay. Mr. Misa, I'd like you to advise any young person or anybody at all who is planning on migrating illegally, on the risk and then all that comes with it. Any advice you have for such a person?
Okay, so my advice to any person, young or old, who wants to travel illegally or migrate is that it's not good. Don't do it.
It's not worth it.
It's not worth it. Work hard is tough, but work hard, get the money, and try and go to the legal means. And I also advise the embassies and to soften their stance on people. Yes, who are trying to do the right thing.
I think for educational purposes,
yes,
it's sometimes tough.
Because you go to some of these embassies and you see the queue and the way they treat people who are just trying to let them come and experience your country. Because if you are not allowing them to come through the right means, then what means can they come? It's not the illegal means. So you yourself, who is complaining of illegal migration, you are also a cause of it, because you made your country so difficult. If people are able to easily come to your country, you can monitor them. Then they come and they come back. They will know that, oh, I can experience the United States. It's just like Ghana. It's not even, I'm coming back to Ghana. But if you make it so difficult for me to come to the United States or come to Germany to come and have a feel of it and come back, I mean, what choice do I have? So whilst you are advising the cat, then you are also advising the fish, because they are all partners in the crime. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
It seems like it's a process.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it seems as though it takes, for the African mind, it seems like until we explore what is out there, we will never probably start liking what we already have. You know? I mean, that's just unfortunate. But I would like to see the time where young people will really start using the African names. The 𝐾𝐨𝐿𝐿, and you know, than all these other names that, you know, and that is part of the reawakening. And one community at a time, we'll get there.
Yes, okay. Thank you so much. So that was Mr. Kwamena Bedu, Executive Director of Humankindness Foundation.
Absolutely.
And Mr. Samuel 𝐘𝐨𝐻𝐻, Founder and CEO of Africa Center for Peace, Security and Migration. Thank you so much for joining us here at the Youth Avenue on Watch TV channel. We appreciate you so much.
Thank you also.
Okay.
Thank you also.
So this brings us to the end of our discussion for today. We're going to have more episodes on youth and migration. Thank you so much for staying with us. My name is 𝐘𝐨𝐻𝐿, your gorgeous host, and I'd like to remind you, please subscribe to our YouTube page and follow us on all our social media platforms as well at Watch TV channel. So same time next week. Stay safe.
Right.
Watch TV, promoting sustainable development.